the iron to almost 1,000 degrees, then strike and stretch the red-hot iron. They temper it by repeating the process again and again. Striking it removes impurities and increases hardness. A wedge is made in the tempered iron and a black object is placed inside. This is a kind of steel called Tamahagane and becomes the blade of the knife. This Tamahagane is the special technique used for their knives. Tamahagane is a very hard iron. It is made from sand iron. This is the same technique used to make Japanese swords, and therefore enjoys the same sharpness of the blade. After the Tamahagane is inserted, Katai strikes again to continue the tempering. About 1 hour after starting, it is starting to take on the form of a knife.
Here, Teruki.
All right.
Now it's the 9th brother, Teruki's turn. He takes a whetstone to get rid of the excess and refine the shape. A joint effort by the 5 brothers.
Please get rid of the distortions and do a rough grind.
Now it is the 7th brother, Kenji's turn. He attaches it to a machine to sharpen the blade portion.
Is it my turn?
Here you go, President. Rough grind finished. Finished up. Please.
The finishing polish is the job of the 6th brother, Renji, the president. Yoshimitsu brand knives are not only focused on sharpness, but also on appearance.
This is sharp. No doubt about it, it will cut well.
Their pride. A kitchen knife made with Tamahagane is now complete. It is the fruit of the sweat and skill of the brothers' bond. Price is approximately 30,000 yen, or about $300. How does it cut?
It's easy to use and cuts very well.
A blacksmith works with very hard iron. There is no room for compromise. At times, their opinions can clash.
So we do fight quite a bit, but not to the point of anyone giving up and retiring. I honestly think that's the strength of brothers. Our father and mother that had us were the amazing ones. Kitai, Renji, Kenji, Teruki, and Noriyuki. The names together basically summarize the art of the profession. As his name suggests, Noriyuki does keep all brothers together, so they really named us well. We all do our jobs accordingly. That's not bad.
Their father, Kyuji, was a man known in the area for his excellent workmanship. Of his 11 children, he raised all 9 sons to be blacksmiths.
Each brother has his own unique personality. Those that are skilled in blacksmithing techniques, those that are skilled in socializing, those good in business. Each and every one of us have taken advantage of those individualities to get where we are today.
This is called a hay cutter. In Shimabara, we also call it a feed cutter. Feed because cows.
Noriyuki, 91, the 2nd son. He was dispatched to Taiwan during the war, and after the war ended, returned to the shop at the age of 25. He has 4 daughters, 12 grandchildren, 4 great-grandchildren. Katai, the 5th son, is 84. He has been a blacksmith all his life, since graduating from middle school at the age of 15. He has a strong will and is dedicated to his work. He has 4 children and 6 grandchildren. Renji, the 6th son, is 81. He is the president of Yoshimitsu, serious and very upright. 3 children and 8 grandchildren. Kenji, the 7th son, 79. He is the most innovative of the brothers. He is not only involved in the production, but also makes the rounds as their salesperson. He works hard and was often away from home, but now both his children have become independent, and it's just him and his wife at home.
My wife supported me 53 years. It's my turn to support her.
The 9th son, Teruki, is 72. He has 2 children and 2 grandchildren. Whatever he wants to say, he says it frankly. When he was little, he was a troublemaker. He started this job when he was 15, and although tried other work at one time, found that being a blacksmith suited him best. After work, the brothers sometimes gather at the main family house.
We didn't have Parents' Day. I thought I was lucky not to have it then.
In class, I used to say, "Washa" in the Shimabara dialect, and everyone laughed at me. Really.
Yoshimitsu Blacksmith was established over 150 years ago, during the days of the samurai. The current workshop was built before the war, in 1942. A lot has happened in the 70 years since. During the war, 4 of the brothers were sent to battlefields.
Everyone went to the military. I was the last to go. My older brother went, and 2 of my younger ones. It was the late 40s that we came back, since I returned in 1946.
Their father, Kyuji, considered that his 4 sons sent to battlefields may not return, and hammered the job into the 5th son, Katai, who was left behind. But during the war, they were unable to run their primary business as a blacksmith. By military order, they were made to manufacture tools and equipment necessary for war. Katai was 16 at the time.
This is from the war. It's a mold for something like a hook. This too is from long ago, from wartime. It's a tool used to make all kinds of shapes.
During the war, blacksmith shops were used as military factories. The war ended, and luckily, all brothers came home safely. Agriculture has been a major industry in the Shimabara Peninsula for a long time, and there used to be many blacksmiths making hoes and sickles. There were 50 in the past, but now only 8, including Yoshimitsu. The reason is mass production and lack of successors. Many kinds of farming tools have been made in the past.
That's a very old one.
Yes. How long ago is this from? I'm not quite sure. but maybe about 80 years ago. Our father was an expert in this field. He didn't take us by the hand to teach us, definitely not. He never said, "This is how it's done." He told us to use our own eyes and steal the skills. He had 11 children, so he was never taking a half-hearted attitude toward us. Our mother was outstanding. She would take what we and Father made and carry it, all in a sack on her back. She worked really hard. She was amazing.
Mount Fugen, the symbol of Shimabara Peninsula. In 1990, Mount Fugen erupted for the first time in 200 years. The great pyroclastic flow of the following year was a catastrophe, leaving 43 dead or missing.
That was crazy. At that time, we made 200 knives for evacuees. 200 knives we donated.
Those people in temporary housing were really in trouble.
To help those in need. That was what their father had taught them. "22 years after the eruption of Mount Fugen, the activity finally ended and peaceful greenery returned. The job of a blacksmith is not just to make hoes and sickles.
These are not the times to wait around for customers. We need to go find them. Isn't that one of the tricks of the trade?
Lettuce knives used to cut off the roots. Teruki, the fifth son, goes around farms and provides an on-site sharpening service. To make something good, sell it, and have happy customers. This is also one of their father's lessons.
The first person. Here, the second.
Thank you.
Whose is this?
Over here.
Here. Here you go.
Thanks.
It's sharp. Yeah, very sharp.
They want many people to experience what they have produced. About 10 times a year, they head to department stores and product fairs around the country. Kenji, the seventh son, is the one mainly responsible for the sales pitch. He also sharpens dulled blades.
I may have been using them for decades. This is my third.
It's sharp. And they're from my hometown.
Sharp. It's good, sharp.
They are sometimes asked to sharpen plain blades.
Oh, that's good. It's good. It's much better than I expected.
Than expected.
Well, it just gets shorter and shorter as it's sharpened.
It's been a while since the brothers gathered at the main family home. Kenji, the innovative seventh son, suggested a revolutionary way of making knives using a certain material.
With juice and beer cans.
Aluminum?
Using the steel parts, I'm wondering if there's something we can do. What do you think of the possibility?
For the materials, it would have to be pretty good.
For something so thin. And It has to withstand rust, even with stimulants.
What we need to aim for most in making knives is hardness. I was thinking that we may be able to take advantage of Kitai's skill in that department.
Kitchen knife.
I'll pass this on to the man who had the biggest part in making it.
This wasn't so good.
70 points.
Kitai gives himself a tough grade, saying the ripples didn't come out very well.
Hello?
Oh, President, this is Kenji.
Oh, hello.
The quality. We made two, and one is maybe 85 points. One was only 70 points.
You got 85 points.
Renji, the president, had actually been admitted to hospital for a bad case of rheumatism.
We are doing all right here.
Good. I'm sorry for the trouble.
Well, you can take your time and rest up.
Yes, yes.
I'll change with Kitai.
Okay.
Hello,
Hello?
this is Kitai.
Oh, hello.
You sound well.
I am well.
Don't worry. Just concentrate on getting better.
It will be trouble if you don't get well soon.
Yes. Yes, I know.
Get better.
Yes, yes.
Well then.
Okay.
Renji, who worked with them and pulled them along, staying in hospital. They cannot hide their sadness. Renji was able to go home at one point, and it was believed that he was recovering. But later on, he was admitted to hospital again for a problem with the stomach. After 4 months of fighting his sickness, he passed away. The brothers' wishes to work together again as a team of 5 would not come true. Renji had held everyone together as president. He was earnest and heavily relied upon by his brothers, and had always been responsible for the finishing touches. The death of their brother and workmate brought a sadness too deep to measure.
It's like really missing. The feeling that something is missing. I think everyone feels it when we go to the workshop every day. Something's missing.
The reason I've been able to work until 91 is because I've had my brothers.
There was someone else feeling the sadness like the brothers. Renji's son, Shoji.
I had never imagined it. I believed that my father would get better again, and back to the workshop, and help out with the work. With him gone, I've really noticed what a powerful presence he had been. And on the other hand, I really need to take on the technical traditions from my uncles.
Spring arrived in Shimabara. Shoji, the eldest son of Renji, the president who had passed away, was at the workshop. The desire to carry on his deceased father's intentions. He is learning each and every one of the detailed techniques from his 4 uncles.
Blade striking.
Blade striking.
You should strike it all around. Change the way the steel sticks out, based on thickness.
If I bring it forward a bit and hit the blade...
Right. The shape, it warps. Curve it like this, so it doesn't get bent.
To make something truly good inside, not just in the shape, the elders aren't just making, they're putting thought into it. It's really deep.
Each and every blacksmith shop has its secret.
Shoji wanted more people to understand the work of a blacksmith and created a website and started online sales. He thought of something that he could do as a young person. Along the shores of the Ariake Sea, the blacksmith brothers are gathering something. It was sand iron, powder iron mixed into the sand. It is said that the sand iron is a product of the iron excreted during the eruptions of Fugandake and Mount Aso, which flowed out into the Ariake Sea. It is a gift of nature. This sand iron is used as the raw material to make iron. They use an ancient iron-making technique, the Tatara iron-making method. This method is used to make Tamahagane, a very hard iron also used for Japanese swords. Tamahagane is made from sand iron melted in high heat called Cara, which is a block much like lava block, containing extremely pure iron. The Tatara iron-making method has a history of over 1,000 years, said to have traveled from India via the Korean peninsula to Japan. Yoshimitsu Blacksmith adopted this method 8 years ago. Because of the labor involved, it can only be performed once a year.
Lift it a bit more. Lift a bit more.
How many degrees now?
18 now.
First, the kiln is made using red soil. The kiln takes 3 days to make. The work can only be completed in winter or early spring because the heat reaches extreme levels while the work is being done. It began with a simple suggestion. Kenji had read a newspaper article that a local middle school had replicated the Tatara iron-making method. so he proposed it to his brothers, thinking he would like to try it themselves.
I felt that all blacksmiths in the past used this technique. I thought it would be embarrassing if the professionals couldn't do it.
Documents and materials were gathered and the process reenacted, but it was failure after failure. However, the brothers continued in their challenge.
We gradually got into it. I guess it's what's called the spirit of the craftsman. You can't stop. If we made it this far, then the next time it would be like this. We just kept thinking of the next step and the next step after that. It was a challenge. As a person involved in a craft, that was a major theme running through this Tatara making process for me.
5 a.m., a week after the kiln was made. The 9th Tatara iron making is finally about to start. An ancient Japanese iron-making method. They solemnly pray for safety and success. They start a flame and light the coal. Then, one after another, they put the flaming coals into the kiln. Wind is sent into the kiln to increase the strength of the flames. Flaming coal is repeatedly added and the temperature of the kiln raised to 1,000 degrees. Next, shell ash made by burning and crushing shells is mixed with the sand iron collected on the beach. Shell ash and coal take on the role of removing impurities from sand iron. The sand iron mixed with shell ash is poured into the 1,000-degree kiln.
It should be 1,000 degrees right now, the temperature in the kiln. About 1,200 degrees way at the bottom. There's no such thing as 100%. Every time it's trial and error. We make little improvements each time. We need to keep records of everything for those that come after us. This job isn't just for us.
About 2 hours into the process, we wait for slag, or impurities found in the sand iron, to come out. The exit is obstructed and the slag is stuck. They fight the heat and desperately open the hole. After about 3 hours, the slag starts coming out bit by bit.
This is the best ever. The way it's burning. The temperature has not drastically risen and fallen. It keeps burning at a perfect temperature.
There was some trouble at first, but the slag came out nicely, so I think we'll see good quality.
Shoji, the son of the deceased president, is an integral part of the team. The word Tatara from the Tatara iron-making method is said to have come from Tatara, meaning heat in ancient India. 6 hours after starting, the slag needs to all come out. A short break is taken for lunch.
Really, our father and mother were strong. We're all healthy at this old age. The work we've done today is more like a hobby. Gives us energy. It might be bothersome for those that had to accompany us old folk. But I think it's suitable, this kind of work, chasing dreams. To chase dreams, you need to do work like this.
Eight hours after starting, the work is finally finished. The kiln is broken, and Cara, the lava-like iron block containing pure, high-quality iron, is taken out. This is the valuable Cara. It is the main material used to make Tamahagane. The hot Cara is cooled in a nearby river.
Bring a magnet.
It sticks well to a magnet. It is a sign of high purity.
Oh, look at the beautiful color. I think this is a good batch.
20 kilos of Cara was produced from 80 kilos of sand iron. When it is heated, struck, and tempered, it becomes Tamahagane.
Hello.
I just rushed over, too.
Back at the family's main home, it's a celebration.
Cheers. Well done.
Well done.
Cheers to 70%.
The hole opened up.
Inside to the outside. The width.
The width.
Against the kiln wall, on average, the temperature was constant, so there was little melt.
That stuff that was stuck, I think that will go away next time.
They review this year's Tatara iron making. Everyone likes to drink, and even when drunk, all they talk about is work.
I think this year was the biggest success we've had, the Tatara iron making method. I do. It means the kiln was made very well.
The drink after working hard with the brothers tastes especially good. They make Tamahagane with the Cara just produced this year. First, coal is placed in the kiln and a fire is started. The fresh Cara is placed in the kiln. Red-hot Cara that has been heated in high temperature is repeatedly struck and tempered hard. To make it harder, it is put back in the fire and struck and tempered yet again. Kitai and Teruki take turns striking. This work goes on for just over 3 hours a day, 2 days in a row. This work requires skill, instinct, and physical strength. Kitai is 84 years old. Finally, it is soaked in water to cool, and the Tamahagane is ready. The hard Tamahagane is made from a gift of nature. They take the just-made Tamahagane to make a knife. As usual, the Tamahagane is wedged into the iron. It is struck and stretched again. This time, Kenji strikes with Kitai. It is starting to look like a knife. It is shaved to shape.
It's made well. The strength of the steel is apparent.
Kenji, who polishes the blade, adds the final touch. This task had always belonged to his deceased older brother, Renji.
Like this.
Looks good.
It's made well. About 90 points.
It catches nicely. This is the best ever made. It really is. I'm sure. This gets a passing grade. It can be sold with pride.
When the Yoshimitsu name is etched in, it is finally complete. Yoshimitsu's fine knife, made using nature's gift Tamahagane. It's a traditional masterpiece made with the brothers' bond. They are all at a pottery market to sell knives, sickles, and hoes they have made together. Shoji has come along to take the place of his deceased father, Renji.
This one is called a santoku knife, and it's good for everything.
This is an annual event for all the brothers to take part in together.
We've checked out how well it cuts, and no mistake about it, it cuts very well.
Where are you from?
Shimabara. There is no one in Shimabara that doesn't know our brand.
Here, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
These days, the world is going in the complete opposite direction to what I expected. Working with iron, I have some control over how things go. So, I think I'll continue until I die. I love iron.